and welcome. My name is Andrew Timmins. I was part of the working group that looked at updating the guide to warming up and cooling down for Scottish country dance teachers. The original guide was written by Grace and Jeremy Hill with contributions from experienced teachers. The working group for this revised guide included experienced teachers and others from various different disciplines. The revised guide has 5 sections and 5 appendices, which have updated information on exercise descriptions. When relevant information becomes available from new research, the guide will need to be again updated, as it should. This video is an introduction to and an overview of the guide. It is not an in-depth look at the guide. The guide is aimed at those who are unsure about warming up and cooling down. Or it also helps those who want to update their skills and knowledge. Remember, this is only a guide. It is not the be-all and end-all of information or exercises. For teachers who are trained in sports medicine, sports or fitness training, and or sports injury management, you may recognise many exercises contained within this guide, and perhaps you have exercises that you use from your personal experience, as I do. For those of you who have not downloaded the guide, it can be downloaded from the RSCDS website. Log on to My RSCDS, and then under the heading Learning, click on the Resources for Scottish Country Dance Teachers, scroll down to E-Learning for Teachers, click on Guide to Warming Up and Cooling Down for Scottish Country Dancers PDF. If you do have already downloaded the copy, please open the copy of the guide whilst watching the video, as this will help you become familiar with the guide. And just as a reminder, the topic of warm-ups was also included in the 2023 Virtual Teachers Conference. So what is a warm-up? In a nutshell, a warm-up has a series of exercises which prepares the body and mind for activity. It helps to focus on what you're doing. And what is a cool down? A cool down has a series of exercises which returns the body to its normal state prior to the activity. So how it was prior to it. And should we need to do them? Yes, we should. And that is both my professional and personal opinion. We should be doing them. So let's have a look at the section contents. We have an introduction, a cardio warm-up section, strengthening and mobility, cool down, and conclusion. Let's move on into the introduction. The aim of a warm-up, the physiology of a warm-up, designing a warm-up, and suggested music. So the aim of a warm-up is that it helps to prepare the body both physically and mentally for exercise, as I mentioned before. It helps to bring the focus on what you're doing. Be here in the moment. It may also help reduce the risk of injury or the seriousness of injury. We can't stop injuries, but we can help to reduce the risk. And this is one of the ways. And it benefits all dancers, regardless of their age, level of fitness, or dancing experience. Everybody benefits. And the warm-up should consist of 2 parts. Use a cardio warm-up as well as a strengthening and mobility. Exercises should be tailor-made to meet the needs of the class. Vary your approach to determine what's the most effective, whether it's a simple Scottish country dance, Ceilidh dance, or a series of exercises that your class is going to do. And often, explaining the exercises can help engage the class in the warm-up process. Into the anatomy of the warm-up. It's not an in-depth anatomy and physiology class. So what does a warm-up do? It primes the cardiovascular system, and that's by increasing heart and breathing rates, raises the body temperature and increases blood flow to the muscles. And when the body is warm, it can also increase the flexibility and elasticity of the ligaments, muscles, and tendons. It also helps to prepare the joints and surrounding connective tissue for the more strenuous activity that we are going to be doing. And it may improve coordination and may increase alertness and promote better concentration. That's what we're hoping to have. So when you're designing a warm-up and then you're planning what is going to be an effective warm-up, There should be minimum time lag between the class warm-up and the dancing. It should evolve from one into the other. Ensure the movements are performed safely and correctly. That's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? Safe practice. There are noted points, and I would suggest that you read through those, and some of these noted points are also in Appendix C. When dealing with injuries, perhaps it's a good idea for teachers to have attended a first aid course. The majority of the injuries that dancers have are either muscle strains or ankle sprains. And then we're also looking at posture, which you can see in Appendix B. Remember, as teachers, we have a duty of care to provide a safe environment for the dancers to dance and for you to teach in. So, and then there's just a quick overview regarding the music. So music used can have a significant influence on the success of the warm-up by encouraging dancers to listen and appreciate to the barring, the melody, the phrasing, the rhythm, the tempo and the type of music. It helps the dancers to focus on what they're doing, which is what we want. We want them to focus what's in the hall, not outside. Into the cardio warm-ups in a little bit more detail. You'll see we have an aim, we have a duration and class type, and we have suggested exercises. You'll see that in section 3 and 4, we have the same 3 headlines here because they are relevant. So the cardio warm-up looks at how to prime the cardiovascular system, as we mentioned before, and prepare the joints, ligaments, muscles, and tendons for dancing. There are many ways, as are listed in 2.3, and what I've listed below are just 2 examples. Start by using low impact movements, walking exercise, then move on to a medium impact, so a little bit light skipping, and then higher impact exercises like fully skipping, hopping, or even slip step. Or you could start by doing a simple Scottish country dance, Ceilidh dance, or use a series of exercises or simple formations you plan to teach, and then increasing the level of dancing over time. We're looking at duration and class type. The length of time spent on the cardio warm-up is dependent on several factors and should take approximately 5 minutes. We're looking at these 4: age, fitness of the dancers, type of class, time of year, and temperature of the room. If you're dancing in winter and you have a warm room, you're taking that into consideration when you're doing a warm-up. And you'll find that this is also relevant for the next section, so section 3. So for the class type, we have children, younger and experienced dancers can cope with more vigorous, low-impact exercises. People that have been dancing for a period of time, their muscles are used to dancing, and it does take some time for that. Older dancers who are new to Scottish country dancing may require a slower and more sustained approach for that very reason. Their muscles are not used to dancing. Ideally, dancers should feel slightly breathless, warm, and have an increased heart rate. But on the other side of it, we don't want to exhaust them too soon. We want them to be mentally and physically agile so that we can finish the class. When you're looking at the suggested exercises, there are 2 types of walking exercise teachers can use: unstructured and structured. You can read the structured exercises in your own time, and video of those exercises are available upon request. Moving on to section 3, the strength and mobility. Again, we have the 3 same headlines. We have an aim. This aim of the section looks at strengthening muscles and increasing range of motion, or it's also called range of movement, of the joints, ligaments and muscles. Increasing the ROM can help to reduce the risk of injuries and may shorten injury recovery time. Also, increasing muscle strength improves endurance, fitness and resilience, and reduces the risk of injuries. I'll make a point here. What we're after is increasing muscle strength, not muscle bulk, so you don't look like a bodybuilder. And we're also working in a logical sequence, starting from either from the feet and moving up to the head or vice versa. Again, we're looking at duration anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes approximately, and it has the same 4 headings. For the class type, the children classes, they should be shorter, more engaging and fun due to their, well, let's face it, due to their shorter attention span. Sometimes you might not even be able to. But hopefully all we can do is just try. For younger and high impact classes, more time should be allocated to the strengthening exercises for higher intensity and impact movements. We want to build muscle strength. Muscle strength reduces injury, and there are various studies that look at this. There is general, social and low impact classes. Longer warm up with a greater emphasis on the ROM exercises could be more beneficial. So keep that in mind. And importantly, dancers who have balance issues should be encouraged to use a stable object for support. The biggest challenge we have as we age is the loss of balance. And one of the most important things we can do is do an exercise or find an exercise that works on our balance. We lose balance and it increases our risks of falling. So we want to reduce that risk. The exercises that have been categorized as either being strengthening or range of movement and include comments, descriptions, and some variations. Again, you can read the suggested exercises in your own time, and the videos of the exercises are available upon request. Now coming into the cool down, which is for me the most important part of this booklet. We have the same 3 headings. The cool down is a vital component of a dance class and sufficient time should be allocated. Don't disregard it. Please don't disregard it. Cool down allows the cardiovascular system to return to its normal or pre-exercise level. That's the important part. We want to slow it down. And we're using static stretching as the exercises. This is the only place we should be doing static stretching. We're not going to create injuries because the body is warm. The connective tissue is warm, and so because it is warm, we can improve the effects and the flexibility. The stretching exercises aid in lengthening the ligaments, muscles, and the tendons. It helps release the metabolic buildup. It increases blood flow, and this is especially straight after the stretching has been relaxed. And it enhances the range of movement. So looking at duration and the class type, so this should take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes approximately. And the children's class, as before, should be short, engaging and fun. Whether you can get them to do it is one thing, the second is, they'll probably want to do something else. But all we can do is try. For younger, high impact classes, allow 5 to 10 minutes. The stretching should be held for at least a count of 10, preferably 15, and aimed at specific muscle groups that have been used. And for general, social and low impact classes, allow 5 to 8 minutes. Because it's not been that impact, we can reduce that time. For social dances and balls, dancers should be reminded of doing a cool down at the end of the evening. You can't force them, but you can just remind them. Remember, dancers do what their teachers do and follow what they see and not what is said. Suggested exercises. You can start the static stretching in a logical order. And again, from the feet and working way up to the body, to the shoulders, as well as the front, back, right and left sides. You can also start from the head moving down to the feet. Always include the feet, calves, thighs and shoulders, and ensure good posture and body alignment is used, as in from Appendix B. Again, you can read the suggested exercises in your own time, and videos of the exercises are available upon request. So in a conclusion, Scottish country dancing is both physically and mentally demanding. and therefore preparing the body by way of an effective warm-up is essential for injury prevention. Cool down is just as essential for the body's recovery. Well-structured warm-up prepares both body and mind, improves range of motion, coordination, muscle strength, and the cardiovascular system. Well-structured cool-down reduces muscular soreness, supports recovery, improves range of motion, and helps return the muscles to their normal length. Looking at the appendices content, we have an anatomy of the body, which has various images of the body. We also have an alignment, which gives you an idea of posture. We have updates and practice, and you can see this, as I mentioned, this from section 1.3 with the safe practice. Read through those noted points. There's suggested music and suggested further reading. So, coming an end to this video, the working group consisted of Rachel, Laura, Lucy, Mitch, Helen, and myself. And I also thank you to those who assisted with the proofreading and providing valuable feedback, which were Diana, Helen, Andrew, Jennifer, and Mervyn. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you to have an insight into what is into the guide of warming up and cooling down for Scottish country dance teachers. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to catching you, or many of you, on the dance floor at some point in the future.